Shall we start the meeting with the pledge to the flag?
Well, sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody to the February 6th Village Board meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the Village Board meeting minutes from January 16th, 2020?
Make that motion?
Second?
Any changes, questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Next up is citizens' comments. I see we have Matt Hunt is here. Matt, come up to the microphone and let know what's going on.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Thanks for having me. I'm Matt Hunt, representing the Greater Baldwinsville Chamber of Commerce. I'm the board president currently, and I'm here to talk about Taste of Beeville. That this past year was a first-time event that we did in collaboration with the owners of Angry Garlic and Pizza Man to put that on. So we figured we just finished up Big Chill. We should get that one started here. So we're looking to host the event again at Paper Mill Island, Saturday, September 26th. And we'd like to request a waiver of the usage fee and open container law for that.
Okay, I would, that usually the open container comes when we know there's insurance for the event.
Yep.
So we'll do that. And we did waive the usage fee last year. I'm sure that would happen.
Correct, yes.
One thing I would suggest is to make sure somebody from your group gets a hold of Chuck Chow and lets him know, first of all, when the date is, and then is there anything that you need him to do for you?
Okay. That's not a problem. I think logistically we're all set, as all of our vendors want to participate with us again this coming year, but certainly we'll let them know and make sure that's coordinated.
That's right, Steve, right? Just make sure Chuck knows.
Yeah, we have to check the date too. I don't know that he has anything for that.
Right.
I didn't know this was, I didn't check the agenda before.
That's the first-
So I didn't look to see what.
I don't think he has anything yet for that date, so hopefully that would be.
Okay.
Not that he's told us about, but I
Okay,
don't
you
know.
checked it? Yeah, okay.
You know that?
With that being said, is your date firm?
It's not firm. That's why I'm here so early, is to try to firm it up, because to schedule bands and vendors and entertainment is very difficult if we wait too
The two of you, I'm
long.
sure you can work it out, and Chuck could be a huge asset in helping you with that specific stuff, so.
With what? I'm sorry?
With that specific stuff, bands, stuff like that, or any.
Oh, okay. Actually, that was Jeff at Angry Garlic handled all that. We have a sound guy. We have bands. We already have bands who are waiting for the date to be locked in. So
Does the Angry Garlic and Pizza Man have entertainment fairly regularly, and they use those people?
correct, correct. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess my question would be, is this going through Chuck or is it not?
Right, let's just confirm.
Yeah, because a hybrid doesn't work.
Right.
So
It
if
didn't
you're-
last year, and we were told it didn't need to. As the hard part would be if it did, then it's an event that we would probably lose money on, and we would struggle to put it on and do this for the community at that point.
But just my concern would be that you have some kind of communication with him, so he says, I understand the date you're using, and I understand you don't need me to be a part of it. Because we basically have told him the island is his during entertainment season. So
Right.
we need him to sign off and say, I'm guessing it won't be a problem,
Right. Understandable.
so.
Steve, has he assisted with stuff like this before and not charged, just?
Yeah, he does the Rotary. Well, it's not that he doesn't charge, he does it with, he wants to get something out of it. He either sells beer, he's on the concession side, or somewhere. I mean, he's in business to make money. And if there's not an element for him to make money, he would prefer not to be involved. I think last year, part of the thing was, there was never a discussion with him regarding it, and there was a conflict with the date. And then there was a question about using his porta-johns that were left there from an event earlier. And the question was, did we coordinate with him, or did you? And I guess either we're in or out. It's hard to be like, let's check with Chuck on a couple of things. I don't think he would have a problem with this, because there's no element for him to make money. So, he's a private entity. He's looking to do that on all these events. If there's no peace there for him, he's fine to walk away from it, but we want to check the date with him and then secure this date and say, don't book anything for that date. It's a Saturday. He might book something on the Friday or on the Sunday. And I guess unless we're saying we're reserving other dates as well, I don't know what your time is, but he's had events that are a day away from another event, so he's had it so that he can't set up to the day. And if you need anything from him, it would be up to you to get it from him.
Right.
The Porta-Johns, for example.
Right. Yeah, we didn't use the Porta-Johns last year. We
Yeah,
brought our own.
but I know there was a question as to whether or not he could leave his because he had the trailer style, and there was an interest in getting those. So if he's out, that's fine. I'll touch base with him, and I'll let him know. Just here's a private event. He has helped some events, Mike. I think the Rotary, he does books their bands for them. He does some things, but then I think he's involved in the concession element.
And I remember last year, it was a late starting event. I mean, it wasn't this early in the year that anybody came up with a date or anything.
No, we didn't come up with the event itself as an idea till March or April probably. So it was April, May when we started the planning, and I think it was May when I was here.
And at that point, he never knew you had something going, and he told Steve, I want that date, and Steve said, there's something going,
Yeah.
we got a conflict there.
That's understandable. That's part of doing it early, is trying to make sure everything is.
We would like to make sure there's, between you and Steve, somehow, somebody needs to talk to him.
That's fine. Yep,
Okay.
no problem.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We just, as far as the waiving and stuff, we wouldn't do that probably at this point, right, Mo? I mean, we wait.
We could waive, you could waive the rental if you like, but the waiver, we don't have any of the insurance or anything. I have an application, but I don't have the insurance.
Let's wait till we know for sure there's
Yeah.
not a conflict, and then the date
That's
is
fine.
set, and then we'll make it official.
That was pretty much the idea, was get it on the radar and make sure Chuck didn't have a conflict, and then we would fulfill the other requirements
Sounds good.
for the date.
Very good.
Any other questions? Okay, very good, thank you.
As good as it was last year.
Well, we had over 3,500 people in the last 3 hours. We're pretty much rained out, so it was pretty good success by all accounts, so
Very good.
thank you, I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Matt.
Yep.
Anybody else?
I missed the date. What was the date? What was the date? I missed the date.
It's right on the,
Oh, okay. I'm not looking at that.
on the agenda, 26th September. All right, we don't have any other citizens' comments. We'll move to trustees' comments. Andy?
All set, agenda items only.
Michael?
I just wanted to mention that the Man and Woman of the Year Awards Dinner that is held by the Baldwinsville Volunteer Center is scheduled for April 17th, which is a Friday this year. It's at Foster's on the Green. And speaking for Megan, the Volunteer Center is still accepting applications for Man and Woman of the Year up to February 24th. So if anybody in the community wants to volunteer somebody for Volunteer of the Year, you can contact the Volunteer Center by phone or by Facebook and submit a qualified volunteer who's deserving of the award. And that's it.
Thank you, Mike. Ruth?
Just the agenda.
Mark?
As promised, I'm going to request an executive session this evening to update the board on the status of union contract. Actually, I can give a brief update on the DPW contract status, but since Bruce and Megan aren't here, I don't want to get into that too deeply, but I'll update the board on the PBA contract.
All right, we'll make that item E. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. A couple things. Question came up. Somebody asked me a question about why, when we did the parking study, did we check daytime parking and not nighttime? And the answer, for anybody who wonders, is because that's when we had complaints, that people said there were issues with parking during the day. There's not enough spots, basically in front of my business or by my business. And we met, had a nice meeting. We talked about that last meeting. People were very satisfied and did not realize the amount of parking we have within a short walking distance of most anywhere in downtown. Nighttime, if people would have seen who was here, we had nobody here from the Angry Garlic and nobody from Pizza Man, who are probably our two best businesses in the village, because they probably couldn't come because they were busy. But they don't have a problem, they have no parking. They do not have one parking spot, as far as I know, either assigned to them anywhere in the village. And yet their places are packed, because at night we have plenty of parking. And people going to those places are willing to park on River Street, park at the square, and walk to the businesses. So nighttime, other than when we have a big concert on the island, and some of the lots get full, the rest of the time at night, even on-street parking is available quite a bit. So that's why we looked at the daytime, because that's when the people voice their concerns. So enough of that. Let's see here. Baldwinsville Center for the Arts is having an event March 7th called the Roaring Twenties Jazz Night at Foxfire. So if anybody's interested in jazz and the Roaring Twenties and helping the Center for the Arts make money, go on their website and find out when that's available. Got a notice the other day that there is a Citizens FBI Academy available, if anybody would like to attend. It's several nights, and they ask that anybody go to all the nights. And contact Susan Demari at the Sheriff's Office, if you're interested. The Farmers Market, people have contacted me. They're planning on having their Spring Fest May 17th at the Square. That's kind of their kickoff for the Farmers Market. A little early for much local produce on May 17th, but last year was pretty successful, even though it rained before the day was over. It's nice to even hear people talking about things like Farmers Market in February. So, and just so people know, I have been quite active writing letters to state legislators concerning my concerns with the bail reform issue. That I know police departments are not happy. They're worried about what it's doing to putting alleged criminals back on the street, taking it out of the hand of judges to decide if somebody is dangerous and should not be out on the street. So if you have similar concerns, let your local legislators know, give them some ammunition. That's all I have with that. We'll move on to department heads. We have a younger looking Bob Baldwin here tonight. Bob, that trip to Florida has rejuvenated you, huh?
Yeah, contrary to the appearance similarities, I am not Bob Baldwin. I am Joe Ferteschi. I work for Bob. I think I've met all of you at some point over the past year or so. So happy to be here for Bob, and I will stick with the agenda.
And you brought along Jamie Sutphin, who represents some of our boards, other boards, and we're very fortunate to have a group that is so interested in what we're doing. So we appreciate it. Codes, Greg?
I'll stick with the agenda tonight.
Okay. Move on to clerk's office. Mo?
Just a reminder that village elections is going to be held Wednesday, March 18th from noon to 9. We have 3 open trustee spots, and the nominating petitions are due by February 11th at 5 p.m. If anyone...
Tuesday, right?
Yes. Also, taxes, village taxes will go out. People will have them March 1st, and they're due by April 1st without penalty. Otherwise, I'll stick to the agenda.
All right. Very good. We'll move on to the treasurer. Anna?
Everyone should have received their January financials, and once again, department heads, please look these over. This is the last one you will receive until I get the year closed out, so if you see anything that doesn't look quite right, please let me know right away. Also, I'd just like a reminder to everyone who has a village credit card that if you want to make any purchases and you want it to be included in the 1920 budget year, you must make those purchases by February 28th. Anything after that is going to be considered our new year budget 2021. So I just want to remind everyone, because we had a couple little glitches last year. So if you need it for 1920, you must use it by February 28th, or it's going to go on to March's bill. And that's all I have, unless somebody has a question.
But it's leap year, so do they get to the 29th?
But the 28th is on a Friday, so I'm assuming everyone, plus, sometimes if you use your card, we've had it happen several times this year, if you use it on the last day of the month, depending on when it is, and especially if it's on a Saturday, the merchants don't batch out until the next working or business day, and it falls into a new month. So I'm afraid of that, so that's why I said 28th.
Everybody got that? Okay. Move across the room to Ruth at the Senior Center.
Well, February is Heart Health Month, so we're lucky on Valentine's Day, February 14th, to have a local cardiologist coming to speak. Dr. Kozman will be there to talk about a healthy heart lifestyle. So come in 11:15 on Valentine's Day, the 14th. Bring your questions for the doctor and take care of your heart. Thank you.
Very good. Does it help to eat a lot of candy then?
Dark chocolate. I'm a proponent of dark chocolate.
All right, move on, Public Works, Steve.
We didn't have a Public Works Committee meeting this evening because Megan was out of town and Bruce was unavailable. But one of the things that we were going to do was to go up to the highway garage and just show basically what we've been doing this winter. People may ask the question, we're not clearing snow, so what are we doing? And we're doing quite a few things. So that was my opportunity to show the committee what we were doing. Unfortunately, we didn't have the meeting. We'll try to reschedule that at another time. And that's all.
Everybody's keeping good and busy. I mean, you gave me a rundown of some of the stuff that's been going on. It sounds terrific. All right, move on to police. We've got Lieutenant Lockwood. What's new?
Nothing.
That's not how you answer the meeting.
No, we don't have anything besides one of the motions that are upcoming about a part-timer for Thomas Nicolini. But besides that, and if that's approved, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow at 11.
What time are you?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. All right, I will be here.
All right.
Very good. Is that all?
That's it.
Keep everything under control.
We're trying.
All right. All right, move on to pending business. No pending business, we move on to new business. Can I get a motion to approve levying the real property tax for the year 2020, 2021, with the tax rate for the Lysander and Van Buren portions of the village to be $7.52 per thousand, which produces $2,771,703.02, with an additional payment in lieu of taxes of $41,817. Also, the levying of the water and sewer arrears in the amount of $117,802.06. The exemptions left unpaid from prior sales in the amount of $1,566.14. The unpaid cleanup charges in the amount of $5,417.49. Unpaid code fees in the amount of $4,951.48. And the sidewalk replacement project, the amount of $24,268.09. Can I get a motion?
Move.
I'll second it.
Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Item B, can I get a motion to declare 18 pieces of old two-way radio equipment as surplus? This equipment will be disposed of at a vendor's electronics recovery facility.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Item C, can I get a motion to appoint Thomas R. Nicolini as a police officer, part-time at a rate of $26 per hour, with an effective date of February 7th, 2020?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Do you want to give us a little?
Yeah, Thomas, he just recently retired from the Syracuse Police Department, after 23, 24 years, maybe even a little bit more. I didn't do his background investigation. He's been with Syracuse Police Department for quite a while. He was on their SWAT team, various other units. He currently lives in North Syracuse. He came to us because he still wants to keep a foot in the police game. He pretty much stayed his entire career at Syracuse Police Department on the road. So for him transitioning back here, it's not like he was in property or investigations and not on patrol, like some of our past part-time officers coming back in. So we expect a quick and smooth transition. He knows all our computer programs, all our, it's just kind of getting to know Baldwinsville, which he's not too familiar with, but we don't see that being an issue, so.
Sounds good. We'll swear him in tomorrow at 11.
Tomorrow, if the vote goes well.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item D, can I get a motion to set a public hearing for Thursday, February 20, 2020 at 7:30 PM regarding a proposed local law prohibiting the direction of sump pump water discharge?
Moved.
I'll second it.
You want to give us just a quick synopsis?
Well, what we're trying to do, in the wintertime, we have several sump pump discharges and other stormwater runoff that's being discharged into the street. And, of course, during the wintertime, that freezes and causes a public safety issue. So that's what we're looking to have language to hopefully be able to curb that. At this point, we don't have any language against that, and I've also spoken with Lieutenant Lockwood to see if there was any other, safety issue or code related to the police department. And there's just not something there that we can use to force individuals to reroute those sump pump discharges.
I would add, I believe the county does have a regulation that mirrors the proposed regulation here, but this would just give the village control over something that the county normally has control over.
Very good. Okay. Do we have that available for the board to read before that meeting?
This was all emailed to the board
Everybody should have
yesterday.
got one.
Yep.
Okay,
Got it.
very good.
I read it. Okay.
Okay,
There was an issue brought up by Bruce about the superintendent of public works, but that language is taken care of in the definition of the village engineer, that he is also the superintendent of public works, so.
very good. Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Anything else that we need to discuss before we go into executive session? Can I get a motion to go into an executive session to discuss latest developments in PBA contract negotiations, along with an update of DPW contract negotiations?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried? No action anticipated.